The story begins with a town named Chester's Mill, which was once a normal town. But then some horrific, frightening events began to occur, transforming the town into something worse than hell. What exactly were these dangerous events? Let's find out. The story begins with a girl named Bobby, who was burying a dead body in the woods. Bobby wasn't a local, and judging by the injury on Bobby's forehead, he assumed he must have had a serious fight with the man who did it. After burying the man, Bobby starts to drive out of town in his car, but then he encounters a police officer named Sharif. Seeing him, he gets a little scared, which distracts him from driving, but somehow he manages to back away from the police. Just then, some cows were standing in the middle of the road. To save them, Bobby suddenly turns his car, ending up in a field full of cows. He was slightly injured. A few seconds later, the ground began to shake violently due to an earthquake. Suddenly, an object fell from the sky in front of Bobby, and everything became quiet. Bobby saw that the object had been torn to pieces by the object falling from the sky. He was stunned. When he started picking up the object, he discovered that it was an invisible wall, which was so cursed that it had destroyed several houses in 2 houses. Just then, a boy from Join Am came and asked him if he was okay. He too was shocked to see the invisible wall. Meanwhile, Bobby and Linda received news that the entire town's power supply had been cut off, phone lines had been down, and the internet was down. Even all satellite connections had been down. When a plane flying over the town spotted him, he saw the invisible wall. The child collides with the invisible wall and is crushed, which terrifies the people even more. And it is confirmed that this is not just an invisible wall, but a round-shaped dome that has enveloped half the city. On the other side, we see File and his assistant, Duty, at the radio station, trying to get a signal. They are both a little confused as to why the signal has suddenly gone. This seems like a good opportunity to boost their radio ratings, so they both set out to fix the signal. Meanwhile, a fire truck is coming from the other side of the dome. Seeing this, Bobby points out the invisible ball to the truck driver, making him stop, and the child is crushed. After a brief panic, some police officers arrive to investigate, but they are unable to understand this invisible dome. At this time, a city councilman named Big Jim also arrives, but he too is not aware of this. In Don't Make Any Sense, the police receive information that all roads leading to the town have been blocked because of the dome. A short distance away, a boy named Junior was getting intimate with a girl named MG, a nurse from the area, and his older sister. After they were intimate, Junior tells MG that he loves her very much, but she tells him she wouldn't do anything like that for him. This breaks Junior's heart, and they begin to argue. Their argument escalates to the point where he slaps her and walks away. Next, we see a family of 3, Mother Caroline Ellis and their daughter Nuri, heading towards the town. They were unaware that Dum had targeted her. Meanwhile, we see Julia, an investigative reporter, whose chest is filled with blood in the town. One day, a woman calls her to give her a secret news. She tells her that she saw 6 trucks carrying propane at the Claims-Forded 19-week Justice Mill, and that such a large quantity of propane-like fuel entering the city could be part of a dangerous plane. Julia promises to investigate the matter, but she is too busy with her work to pay attention. Meanwhile, Big Jim goes to the radio station and makes an emergency announcement. Caroline, who was traveling into the city with Alice and Nuri, hears the announcement, but thinks it's some kind of advertisement. She ignores it and narrowly avoids hitting their car. A truck, coming from the other side, hits the truck and crushes it. Seeing this, she immediately applies the brakes. Nuri begins to panic, causing her to faint. But before she does, she says something in the Pink Star. From here, Nuri is quickly taken to the hospital, which was filled with people injured by the incidents in the town. Julia and Barb were also bringing injured people to the same hospital. Julia's husband, also a doctor, goes to meet her, but he wasn't in the hospital at the time. At the Nidaspedat hospital, Julia learns that her husband never worked on Sundays, but he was always lying to Julia. Outside the hospital, we see Big and G meeting. Seeing them together creates a strange jealousy in Junior. Meanwhile, the town's borders are now sealed by soldiers. Many scientists and experts have been unable to find a solution to this strange problem. But a few hours later, Big returns to Jim Propane's apartment to talk to Big. He meets Sharif here. Through his button, we learn that he already knew a little about Tom's elder brother, but he wasn't talking openly about it. Meanwhile, Bobby has to stay in town for a day and has no place to stay. So he decides to spend the night in his car. Just then, Junior approaches him and tells him to stay away from G. Gradually, his words turn into threats. Bobby is surprised to know what his mistake was. Meanwhile, Julia arrives there, with whom he stops fighting. From here, the scene shifts, and we see that, unconcerned about the situation in the town, some teenagers are partying at a place. Jai is among them. Jai starts talking to a boy about the situation there, but suddenly Jai is interrupted by a voice and starts talking about Pink Star. Just as Navri had said earlier, Jai's sister MG is alone at home, when suddenly, Junior enters her house. He sneaks in, kidnaps her, and takes her to his father's dilapidated shelter, but he tells him that he knows the town. What did this dun do here in the big city? He also learns that Big Jim is Junior's father. Junior tells NG that his father was always worried about his family's safety, so he built a shelter for them. Meanwhile, Julia brings her sister-in-law to stay at her house. Suddenly, Bobby sees a photo of her husband and realizes that this is the man he killed that morning. On the other hand, Linda and Sharif were keeping an eye on all the vehicles so that no one accidentally collides with this dun. When suddenly, Sharif suffers an attack and dies on the packed spot. From here, we see the morning's events in flashback, where Bobby came to visit Julia's husband, a doctor, in town. He talks to him about some payment, but the doctor refuses to pay him, leading to a fight between them. It happens, and Bobby accidentally hits him. Bobby knew that even if he accidentally hit her, he would be punished for it. To avoid that, he buried her body in the forest. In the present, when he wakes up in the morning, he finds that her neck chain is missing, so he asks Julia about it. Julia tells him she will find it and give it to him. Then Bobby remembers that she dropped it in the cabin where she killed her husband. Meanwhile, Jai is with his friend Bon, who helped him during the seizure last night. He asks the Pink Star's sister what she said during her seizure last night, but Jai can't remember anything. At the radio station, Dodie successfully contacts people outside the dam using a special device. He hears soldiers talking to each other, but she doesn't say anything to them. They were also confused about what this invisible hair was. Meanwhile, Big Jim was sitting in a restaurant having breakfast when Linda arrived and heard the news of Sharif's death. They immediately went to the burying ground for dead bodies, whose name was listed. Meanwhile, Jai tried his best to call someone at the shelter for help, but to no avail. Just then, Jay arrived and locked him in a chained bed. Big Jim brought Lester, Sharif's friend, with him. He was deeply saddened and upset by Sharif's death. When Linda wasn't around, he and Big Jim discussed the propane import deal that was to take place last month. They revealed that the three of them were involved in the propane import deal and that they had kept this secret from the townspeople. Sharif's death confirmed that Sharif wouldn't be able to tell anyone about their involvement, which was good news for them. Linda arrives at the police station and finds Big Jim looking for something in Sharif's office. When Linda asks, Jim tells her he's looking for Sharif's will papers, but Al was there to look for papers related to the import of propane, which could get him and Lester into trouble. He immediately comes out and tells Sharif, "I think those papers are at Sharif's house, and they need to be brought." He immediately sends Lesnar to his home. Meanwhile, Juliet quickly goes to the radio station, where she discovers that they can hear the soldiers standing outside the device's drum. Upon hearing this, Yuria learns that they are trying to dig the drum out, but they are not succeeding. Julia then spreads the news throughout the town via radio, which creates fear and panic among the people. Scientists observe the effect of water on the drum, but they find that it is like a sieve. Jai observes from a bench that only a small amount of water can pass through it. Julia's husband goes to the doctor's cabin to look for her chain a second time. He finds the chain there, but then Junior arrives and finds her lying there. Junior asks her, "Are you?" He slept with G. Here, Barbie thinks he might have seen him looking for a lantern, and that's why he couldn't let Junior just leave, so he starts beating him severely. We then see Lester arrive at Sharif's house and search for the propylene port papers. After some time, he finds them in a straw, and he sets them on fire. When he finds the fire, the papers fall on the curtains, causing the flames to spread throughout the house, and the entire house starts burning. Seeing this, Many people soon gather and try to extinguish the fire, but without a fire truck, it was impossible. If they had let the house burn, the temperature inside the house would have risen so much that people could have died. So, everyone together tries to extinguish it. Bobby leads the people in extinguishing it. Linda hears Lesnar's smoking noises from inside the house. She goes inside, drags him out, and sends him to a doctor for treatment. The people here are unable to extinguish the flames even after an hour. Instead, the flames become more and more confused. Finally, Jim arrives with a loader and demolishes the house. Then, the story finally settles down. All the tired people gather. Among them, a frustrated policeman named Paul says, "We'll never be able to get out of this room because this. Don't let us get out of the smoke we've been smoking," he says. "We're all going to do it inside this room." As he says this, he fires a shotgun into the air, which hits another policeman, who is instantly killed. Paul is arrested. As darkness falls, John and his friends go skating. Just then, Nuri and Jai arrive. He comes to Paul and tells him he needs to charge his phone. He takes him home because he has a generator, which is one of only a few houses in town. Meanwhile, Linda brings Paul to Jai. Some people were protesting outside the police station. Jim calms them down by saying that they will definitely be helped if they study. After being tied up in the lockup, Bal suffers a heart attack, causing Linda to rush in to help him. But she realizes that Bal was only pretending to have an attack. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Paul pushes him into the lockup, ties him up, and escapes. Meanwhile, Junior, in disguise, goes to Jai again. G understood that if she wanted to get him out of here, she would have to trap Junior in a lie. So she regaled him with memories of their childhood when they used to go hunting in a band tunnel, and suggested that maybe the Domka tunnel hadn't been affected, so they could go out. G then thought that now that he was smitten by her love, he might leave her. But nothing like that happened. Junior flew alone to the channel. Meanwhile, when Jim arrived at the police station, Linda found Band in the lockup instead of Paul. He immediately let him out of the lockup. They discovered that Paul had taken a rifle and some bullets with him. Linda immediately set out to search for him in the forest, knowing that Paul often went hunting in the forest. Jim prepared a dish for Paul. Meanwhile, Caroline, sitting in the restaurant, was worried about Navri because she had gone to the forest last night to have tea without telling both her mothers. While Jim is staying at his house, Jim asks the men to join his team to search for Paul. He also asks his sister-in-law to come with him because he proved to be a good leader today. After this, they set off into the logger jungle. On the way, Paul shows off his skills and tells them that he has also served in the military. Meanwhile, Julia sees him heading towards the tunnel. She stops him and asks where he is going with his backpack. Junior, in a hurry and nervous, says he is just going to meet a friend nearby. This further arouses Julia's suspicion, and she follows him to the tunnel. Meanwhile, at Jai's house, Jai and Navri are having breakfast together. Jai had never been alone with a girl before, so he was feeling a little New Year's swell. However, Navri was confident and quick-witted in conversation. He takes 2 girls with him to his house, who needed to charge their phones. He had to turn on the generator for the bank to impress him. He reluctantly gives permission to John, as he didn't think it was right to misuse it. Back in the woods, we see the search team find Paul. Paul stabs a boy in the leg. Another boy stays behind to help him, while Jim and Barb run after Paul. Meanwhile, Junior reaches the end of the tunnel, where he discovers that Dom has also damaged the tunnel. He gets very close to the wall, which turns on his flashlight. Just then, Julia arrives and turns it on. Seeing Julia, Junior becomes very angry because she was following him. Junior starts running like crazy, trying to break through the invisible wall. Julia seems to stop him. The two then sit down and talk. Julia tells him that a mistake she made has landed her in this useless job of being a journalist. Meanwhile, Jai's house is filled with people who have come to repair his generator for their own needs. A rogue boy tries to extort money from people in exchange for repairing a generator that didn't even belong to him, but no one was willing to speak out against him. Seeing this, Julia steps in to handle everything, but the situation becomes even more serious. But before anything goes wrong, the lights go out. Notisha is overjoyed that Jai supported her in the debate. Meanwhile, in the woods, her sister-in-law and Jim reach Paul, but Paul had drawn his rifle and was about to shoot Jim when Linda comes from behind and shoots him. On the other side, Carolyn goes to Jai's house and meets her daughter, Nuri, telling her to be a little more responsible after listening to her. Jai and Nuri hold hands, which gives rise to an exchange of words, and at this moment, both of them begin to feel fear. They were talking together in a Pink Star bar. Meanwhile, Junior goes to the shelter to see Ga, but this time he has a first aid kit in his hand. He bandages Gao's wounds and secretly takes the Caesar with him. We then see Julia and Bar return home after a tiring day. However, Julia had become suspicious of her sister-in-law after hearing Junior's words. When she goes to take a bath, Julia starts checking her behavior. Friends, and how did you like this and our damn series so far? Do let us know in the comments section whether you're in line for the next episode of this series or not.